Hi everyone, I'm here with a slightly different video to what I was planning to upload today. I was originally going to upload a book tag, but I just didn't feel that that felt appropriate with everything going on with the whole Brexit thing and everything, so I just wanted to do a quick discussion video about my thoughts on that. So if you're not interested in that, don't worry, more bookish videos will be on their way. And I just quickly say, by the way, that I am so warm right now. My living room is just like a sauna, and I'm about to head to work, so I've got quite a lot of clothing on compared to just like my chill out clothes that I usually record a video in. I'm sweating. Now I just wanted to offer a sort of different viewpoint on this, if you will. And I don't want any hate in the comments. I want everything to stay civilised. Everyone has their own opinions on this, and it'd be really nice if we could all just act like adults, unlike some of the other people that have actually been involved in this campaign, and just keep it civilised. And yeah. So I personally voted out yesterday, and at least from what I've noticed on BookTube so far, that seems to be quite a controversial and rare vote for a lot of people on here. But I just want to say that I personally researched thoroughly and really did a lot of reading around beyond just everything else. I didn't just stick to what was thrown in your face, but I did a lot more reading around and a lot more research than what was just sort of provided to us. Because we all are book readers here. We all know that you cannot believe everything that you read. So I was reading source after source after source and comparing everything before making my decision. And I'd had my mind made up for a good couple of weeks beforehand. I'd like to think that I've made this decision for the right choice, and that I'm not one of those that are just being a racist. Because some of the people that voted probably sadly are. But in my case, I really just feel like England, well no, the UK full stop, and even just with the Republic of Ireland, if you think about it, the UK and the Republic of Ireland as well, they're just two really small islands along with the rest of the bits that build up the UK. And we are really small compared to the rest of the world, many other countries. Think all you want, go and compare on maps, do what you like. We are tiny, and we are overcrowded, vastly overcrowded. So my decision wasn't necessarily a racist thing, it was we need to do something before this country is literally too crowded to live in. We would become the next Japan. We're running out of room. You don't want to literally get to the point where we've run out of all the greenery and the wonderful bits of the quaint countryside of England. And I wanted to take a step in the direction of just making a change about this. And obviously we will still allow people in, we will still allow refugees in, we will still allow people to move to this country, but I would like to see it done on a point system, a bit like what Australia has. And that wasn't something that we were ever going to have the control to do within the EU. Now don't even get me started on my thoughts of the actual EU itself, because I feel like the EU right now is a massive, massive mess. And I think it speaks volumes that now that we've decided to exit, that other countries now want to hold their own referendums. And the results of those will be as it may. Now I personally have got a Polish friend from work, and she was upset on Facebook this morning, and to be honest, I can't blame her. It will be a scary time for her and for anyone else who has either moved to this country or people from the UK that are now living in other countries. It is a scary time. I've lived in Sweden for a couple of years, so I thoroughly understand the whole really using the EU for the good side of things. The freedom of movement in that sense was fantastic, to be able to have these opportunities without too much paperwork involved. But I feel like this is a small sacrifice to be made for being able to just look after number one for once, because we need to look after ourselves a lot more. However, the main thing I wanted to mention in this video is I'm just actually really saddened by, not the result, it's the result I wanted, but I'm saddened by people's reactions. So I was watching the coverage throughout the night into the very early hours of the morning. I think I finally gave up at about 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. So I was quite keen and sort of watching it, and I saw Nigel Farage's sort of little victory speech, which I thought was just disgusting. I didn't support that at all. I don't like his way of thinking. It saddens me that I was voting the same way as what he wanted us to, but at the end of the day it's not his beliefs that I was voting for. What also saddens me is David Cameron's resignation. Now, it was obvious that this was going to have to come if we did actually get the leave vote, but I don't know who I'd trust to actually lead the country now. I've never been a Conservative voter. I actually didn't vote in the last election because I couldn't bring myself to, because I've been brought up as a Labour girl. I was brought up to vote Labour, but I really didn't have any sort of attachment to Labour during the last election. And meanwhile, the Conservatives and David Cameron especially really actually kind of won me over, but I didn't want to vote against what I'd been brought up to believe, so I just didn't vote at all. And that's really disgusting, considering all the efforts that people have gone to over the years in the past to not only get women's vote, but the right for just voting in, especially in the sort of women's voting kind of discussions. I'm terribly sorry, please don't hate me. So I made a point of making sure I went to vote in this, and I was pleased with my vote. I was sure of my vote, I was in and out in seconds, and I felt really good about actually being able to have my say, and I think that's great that we can in this country. What I'm also hating is all the sort of backlash I'm seeing on Facebook and people falling out with friends that they've had for years over this. You really shouldn't be experiencing so much hate just over a standpoint like this. You need to stop. I hate seeing people bashing each other when they've been friends for so many years and they've just got a different opinion on this. Just respect that different people will have varying different opinions to you. Some might be in agreement, some might agree on certain points. At the end of the day, it's not worth losing friends over. We desperately need to stick together during these times, and it's a bit sad to see that the UK just looks a bit broken right now, but with obviously Northern Ireland voting Remain, I can't blame them one bit. I understand them. And Scotland being just massively Remain, and I'm not sure what that stands for Scotland, because for them to be so Remain and for the rest of England for the most part to be so not, I wouldn't be surprised if Scotland do indeed get their independence referendum again. But yeah, I think I'm getting a bit waffly now, and I'm sure I'll end up editing a lot of this out, but what I basically wanted to say was that I really don't want to see people falling out over this. Just respect each other's opinions, and I'm sure that one way or another England will come through this, and who knows, maybe there will be a new version of the EU 1 decade in the future, and we will be a massive part of that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.